The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
What's up, brother?
How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. Welcome to Fighter to Fighter. This is the place where we don't talk about this fight or that fight. We don't talk about camps or nothing like that, bro. We talk about you, where you come from, how you got to be where you are now, the shit you dealt with in life, whether it was good, bad, ugly, whatever it may be. And man, we're just here to chit chat, bullshit, have fun, learn from each other, and hopefully help somebody out there that's listening that may be struggling through the same shit that you went through.
Absolutely,
well, man. Tell everybody about yourself.
Lacaze, man. I'm 27 years old. Had 68 amateur fights, 20 professional boxing matches, and now 3 bare knuckle matches. And
how you liking?
My whole life's been nothing but a fight, man, and I just kind of influenced the fight game into my personal life, and it just kind of coexists together.
Oh yeah. So how are you liking bare knuckle right now?
Bare knuckle's where it's at, man. That's the sport. That's the global takeover right now in combat sports.
It really is. It really is, man. That whole organization is just growing like nothing I've ever seen before. I don't even think UFC grew this fast. But I think nowadays everybody's kind of used to combat sports now. So something like this comes in that's new, and it's a lot bloodier. It's a lot more high powered, a lot more fast. It's a lot faster. So a lot of people kind of take to it pretty quickly.
Yeah, they do. And man, they treat us so good over there at Bare Knuckle BKFC, and they treat all of us fighters just top notch. And you couldn't ask any better from any kind of organization. It's an honor to be a part of them and be a part of their shows.
Man, and what's crazy, bro, is like when you first told me that you were going to do bare knuckle, I was like, oh shit, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, all right. And then Monroe, boom, ULM, Fenton Ewing Coliseum. Dude, the fucking atmosphere that night was electric. Like it was probably one of the.
It was standing room only.
Yeah, it was probably one of the loudest events that I've ever been to or heard. And dude, when you came out, you could just feel the electricity crackling, bro. Because everybody was pulling for you. You're the hometown guy, bro. So, I honestly believe you kind of found your niche right now.
I do too. I think I found home, and kind of just need to stay here and stick it out, and see what makes of this bare knuckle career.
Straight up. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So, bro, a lot of people don't know. Actually, nobody watching this at all, except for the few people that know us, know we grew up in the same town, got into the same shit, know the same people. We grew up right down the road from each other. Hell, before I even met you, I worked with your dad. Me and Tony were millwrights, and we were working together in Delhi at the time, putting up grain bins. And boy, your dad would brag on you. I'm talking about. He's like, yeah, my son, he's a bad motherfucker. Like he's a fucking beast, you know. And man, it's great to know that that dude has been in your corner since day one, bro. Like,
Day one, man. That's biggest supporter right there. He pushed me through 68 amateur fights, bro. I placed third twice. I placed third in third place twice in nationals and fifth place once in nationals. Then my three nationals I went to, and a lot of that credibility goes to my dad because he was really training and pushing me hard like I was a grown man at like 14, 15. And dude, we would go to amateur shows and I'd be 15, 16 years old. They would match me up with a guy that'd be 28, 30 years old. It's got 80, 90 amateur fights. And I'd go in there and just wipe house and just beat him like it wasn't nothing. So dad's always like kind of hung his hat on me. He knows what kind of fighter, what kind of man I am, what he was raised. And
yeah,
man,
well, I know he's definitely proud of you.
that makes me really happy just hearing you saying that, hearing about my dad bragging on me while y'all are at work, even when I was a young man.
Oh, dude, that dude, bro. Because I remember, I fucking remember, bro. I was sitting there and we were talking about something, and we just got on the subject of fighting. Period. You know how guys on the work site are. You know, always bullshitting with each other. And I used to think that I was just a bad motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I could, and that's before I really learned what fighting really was. And and he's like, I bet my son could whoop your ass.
Oh man,
he's
come
like,
on,
he's like,
pops.
let me go get my son, and we'll get some gloves and see how it works out for you.
Yeah, not to mention I was like 6'5" at that time too. So
Yeah, I've been the same fucking height since I came out of the vagina, bro. I'm still the same fucking height I was then. Like,
yeah,
oh man.
everyone asks me how tall I am. I always say I'm 6'7", but before this last fight, I actually went to the doctor and I got an accurate reading. I'm 6'8.5" flat footed.
6'8.5"? Jesus
Flat
Christ.
footed when I was at the doctor. I know. I
Uh,
could not believe it.
you've got to be. I don't know how tall like Ben Rothwell or Bobo or any of those guys are. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I
But I
got.
mean, you've probably got to be the
I have
tallest fighter in
pictures.
bare knuckle.
I think I have to be. I've got pictures beside Rothwell, and I'm a whole head taller than him, man. He's like right here at my chin. So like
Jesus Christ.
I'm really tall, man. People just don't understand how tall they are until they get beside me or see me in person.
Yeah. So man, let's kind of start back at the beginning, man. Tell the people where you came from. What was your childhood like growing up?
All right. I came from Pioneer, Louisiana, and I wasn't born in a hospital like most kids or most families would have like a hospital birth. No, my mom wanted to have me at home, so I was actually born in the town that I claim Pioneer. Like I was a home birth, and so just from that point, I come out fighting, man. And my dad was a preacher, and we traveled, and he was an evangelist. We traveled a lot, and we was in and out of church, and I traveled here and there, and I went to like 14 different schools through my childhood as being in school. So like always being the new kid, always having to fight. Like I just all I knew was fighting, and man. It's like I was said in the first of this interview, like my life was a fight, so I just had to coexist it all together and make it all one. So and that's the only way I could do. But my life's been good. I had a good childhood, other than the fact of moving a lot, and I had excellent parents, man. And my town, I claim Pioneer. Eric. Everybody knows me in Pioneer. I hang my hat
Oh,
on
dude,
Pioneer,
everybody.
and that I just love that, man. I love the fact of that. And when I go running through town and stuff, man, I'll have people jumping in line with me running through town. So, um, Pioneer is just very humbling, very peaceful place for me to be at, and my childhood my childhood really consisted of being in and out of Pioneer because we moved so much. But childhood's just basically been a fight too, man. Uh, that's basically all my life's really been is a fight, and
Man,
I try to bring that in the ring with me.
hell yeah. When you say that everybody in town knows you, dude, I cannot go into fucking Freddie's store without Freddie hitting me. That old man, I swear, he's like 90 something now, gotta be. But that man will talk my ears off. And the first thing he always asks, well, how's Blake doing? Well, he's doing pretty good, Freddie. That man there
Yeah,
is
he's
something
doing the
else.
same
But
as last time.
yeah. But man, everybody there supports you, and it's pretty awesome to see because that whole small town thing, man. A lot of people don't get to know how that feels. A lot of
That
people come from cities, you know, big towns, stuff like that. Me and you come from small town area, and
Yeah,
man, when I put
we don't nothing here, man.
there really isn't. And so when you get somebody like you who's now a professional fighter, you're on pay per views. Hell, you just co-main evented a couple events ago. That's big
BKFC
for people
42.
around here. Yeah, that's big for
Yes,
people
sir.
around here because they're like, oh my god, what? Blake's doing that now? I remember Blake when he was just fucking shit up.
Yeah, no joke, man. And I love that. I got sent so many pictures of the people having watch parties and crawfish bowls and stuff. They was all like tuned in watching me that night. And man, it's humbling. It's humbling to see all my people like support me the way they do. And I don't want to let them down. I just want to keep skyrocketing and shooting as far as I can. And shooting for the stars, man. Might end up grabbing Mars. Who knows?
Fuck yeah, bro. That's something that that's something that I like to. One of my favorite things to say is, you cannot get comfortable or complacent with where you're at in life. Life may be great for you right now, but never get comfortable or complacent where you're at because there's always something better. There's always room to grow. There's always a higher staircase to climb. So you can't you can't grow if you just stay comfortable. There's just no area for that. So you have to step outside the box. You have to keep grabbing. You have to fail. You have to, gain that strength from that failure, learn from it, push forward, beat the next obstacle. So it's a constant game. It's a constant fight of constantly growing and making your life better, progressing and climbing upward. You're right.
It's an
So
uphill
man,
climb. You're absolutely right.
so you said your childhood was great, but you moved a lot. I remember when I was a kid, we moved a lot, and you know, it kind of wears on a child a little bit, not a lot, but you're constantly having to make new friends where you go. You're constantly getting reintroduced to new schools, things like that. What was that like for you, constantly having to do that?
As a kid, man, it was kind of like a culture shock because I never knew what to expect and just I'd never experienced a lot of things. So I guess I got comfortable after I moved schools a few times, but still, you never just comfortable moving in and coming into a new environment at any time. Like there's anybody that says that's a lie. So I would always be like uncomfortable going into a new school and just like thousand thoughts running through your head. What if? And a lot of times it would be those things. I wouldn't let people step over me or walk over me, and there's just no way that I could allow that to happen, and that caused me to get in a lot of fights. And I don't hang my hat on it. I don't hate it or nothing. I mean, in all reality, I made a lot more friends through fighting in school and talking with teachers and talking with coaches. And even till this day, I have so many people just message me and reach out and tell me how proud they are of me. And glad they met me, glad we've been friends for so long. And I met it's just like a big circle, bro. I made like a whole circle of people through all these schools. And I like my friendships. I know everybody in just about every town I go around that's neighboring around here. And Man, it's really nice. It was really nice getting to, I guess, to travel that much as a kid and like adventure and meet that as many new people as I did. But I didn't recognize that at the time, and you always grow up and you realize a lot more stuff the older you get versus when you're a child and you're in the moment because you're not really thinking when you're a kid.
No, you're really not. I remember when I was growing up, man. I used to stay in and out of group homes and shit like that. I was constantly fucking up, and man, it was so weird because like I come from small town West Carroll, and I go to a group home in Baton Rouge or New Orleans, and now you're having to go to school in these big ass cities, and it's just a massive amount of people and different things you have to learn and different cultures, and it was such a hurdle to try to overcome all that because as kids you try to fit in, so you kind of get somewhere and you look at the way things are, and you try to, well, you feel like or you think that I have to fit in to be accepted here. And I remember I got bullied a little bit when I was young, going to these different schools and stuff because I'm a small town country boy going into these big ass cities. So like bullying was a thing. It still is. It's even worse now, but still,
Oh, for
you
sure.
know, and a lot of kids these days they get to these schools and they feel like they have to fit in, and now they try so hard that they become objects of bullying, and it's fucked up is what it is. It really is. It's fucked up, and it's not fucked up on the kids part. It's fucked up on the bullies who feel like they have to pick on these kids. And I don't know if you ever experienced any of that whenever you got into these schools or anything like that, but I know a lot of kids these days go through that, deal with that, and it fucks them up. Like that's where a lot of your suicides come from high school through.
Yeah, and not so much to take up for the bullies, but a lot of kids come to school bullying because you have no idea what's going on in a lot of these kids' home lives. And some of these kids that's coming and bullying and beating, they're getting their ass whooped at the house and probably getting
You're right.
neglected and treated wrong. And the only way to get that off of their chest is to come and do it to someone else. And there's always a lot more to it. So I didn't ever really try to bash a bully, but I would never let a bully run over me. 'Cause I just hit him right in his teeth as quick as he started talking, or if I felt aggression coming to me, that's just how I was. But people have their own personal issues, and uh, a lot of things don't meet the eye that a lot of people don't see. So I never, Eric, I never had problems with a bully or anything, but I did have problems with, I would say, like, people not understanding you or where you're coming from. And a lot of that came from me being the new kid, like I was speaking on earlier. And I don't know, man. This you said it too. Bullying is like even worse now because we got social media. Social media is like upped everything. It's made everything worse. It seems like,
Oh, dude, it's
and
horrible.
it's absolutely horrible.
It's horrible, and a lot of these kids are so scared to just talk to somebody about it because they feel like, well, I'm being bullied for it now. If I go talk to somebody else, they're gonna fucking judge me or bully me for it or something like that, and it gets worse.
You're
And then
right. They're
eventually,
either getting physically bullied, or mentally bullied. Either or, it's still bullying, and it's horrible. I hate it, but kids go through things. They don't know how to put that stuff out there and get help, and maybe that's something that needs to be put up a lot more. Is like help the kids from bullying and stuff. Let them speak their mind. Let them get stuff off their chest a little more.
yeah, definitely, definitely, bro. So you going through all this in school, and you're readjusting, and finally you get comfortable with it, and you're becoming the person you are today. Where at in your life did you decide, hey, I want to get into boxing?
All right, so bro, I'm 8 years old, and my dad was in and out of Sparky's gym at West Monroe. We're living in Winsboro at the time, and my dad's helping Richard Savage get ready for his last fight. and we're watching it. And I mean, we go to watch the fight, and I'm sitting with Richard's sisters, and Richard's like 42 years old, and he knocks this guy out in like the 6th round, takes his belts. Everybody leaves. I'm the only person sitting in the stands still. Everybody ran in the ring, whatnot. So I got a taste of boxing at 8. I was like, it was on my mind. Me and my dad always watched fighting coming up. So when we moved back to West Monroe when I was like around 13, I was at the school riser, and I got in a fight, man. Beat this kid up pretty bad. And that my dad, he come home, he said, you know what, you want to fight? He said, I'm going to take you to the gym. You want to fight? He said, we're going to do it the right way. He was just sick of me getting in fights all the time.
I'm
And he was
hearing
sick
this
of
whole thing
whooping
in
my
Tony's
ass.
voice right now.
And he's sick of whooping my ass like it's not doing no good. Like, you want to be dumb, you got to be tough type that stuff. So he takes me to the boxing gym, bro. I'm 13 years old. I jump in there, and first time I spar, I'm sparring Jamichael Wade, one of my best friends right now, man. The difference, got the ABO
Yeah.
junior welterweight title, and me and Jamichael get in there, and we're jaw jacking. We don't know each other at all. Jamichael breaks my nose, man. Breaks my nose in the first round. I sparred 3 more rounds with my eyes shaking and stuff. I couldn't see straight. I didn't know my nose was broke. Well, when we got out, I couldn't sit down. I guess I had like a little walking concussion almost. Like my eyes was just shaking. I couldn't keep my head straight. I sit down and healed up for like 3 weeks with a broke nose, bro. My nose is still broke. I come in the gym. All I could think about for 3 weeks was beating Jermichael up. Like we talked about this. That's all I could think about was beating that boy up. We come back, and I was like sitting there wrapping my hands. I was waiting on him to come in the gym with a broke nose, still black eyes. And we jump in there, and we start sparring, and I gave Michael every bit of thing I had in me, and like I basically got the better of him. And ever since then, like me and Michael's been best friends. But that's when my boxing started. So Sparky got a glimpse of like, oh, this tall kid can be tough. So it was like another month later, he's like, hey, you want to try amateur boxing? And I was like, yes, sir. We went and had an amateur boxing match. Now we drive way down to Lafayette. Boxing show doesn't go through. He gets a call. They're having a boxing amateur show in Pearl, Mississippi. So we leave Lafayette and go to Pearl in the same day. We drove from West Monroe down to Lafayette, all the way to Pearl, Mississippi, all in the same day. My first amateur fight. I'm four, I'm 14 years old, and they matched me up with this kid that's 17. He's got 25 fights. I go in there, I lose the fight, but I get fight of the night, man. I get like big stacked up trophies and everything. And from 14 to 20, bro, I had 68 amateur fights. I placed third once in nationals. My first nationals, I placed third. My second time in nationals, and I placed fifth my third time in nationals. And when I turned 20, bro, Sparky was like, hey, it's time to turn pro. There's no sense of us fighting and using our body and not getting paid for it. So I turned pro into boxing. But, bro, boxing's so corrupt. Like, professional boxing gets corrupt. Like, it's A side, B side type of thing. And it's all favoritism. And it's the sports really became bad. So 7 years fighting pros, 20 fights. I get the bare knuckle call, and I'm just like wanting to really have a start over in my career, bro. This bare knuckle is kind of like really let me revive my career, let me transgression, be a different person in the fight game, and it's for real fighters, bro. It's a real fight. Just no gloves, no BS, just straight knuckles, bro.
Yeah. You can't. I'm not gonna say you can't fix a fight in bare knuckle, but it would be very, very hard to do. Like because I mean everything is just so exposed in that circle, man. Like there's no favoritism. I mean, well, I'm not gonna say there ain't, but it's not like boxing. You can't really pad these bare
Right.
knuckle fights. You can't really pad them. So man, you were getting in a
Mm.
lot of these fights in school and stuff, and you were dealing with a lot of that. What was that? What was that doing to you? Like, as you were coming up, you're getting in all these fights. I mean, were you in and out of juvie or anything like that?
No, I never went to juvie or anything. Never went to juvie or anything, and just really like a lonely kid. So say like moving to different schools and really have many friends, and the friends you would make, you'd be moving away from them. You'd have to make new friends. So and that's kind of what I was speaking on. I kind of made a lot of friends through the years, but at the time I couldn't really realize that. I was just kind of upset that I was having to make new friends and losing my old friends. But
Yeah,
no, never no juvie. Just like a bunch of detention and suspension from school, and just simple things like that that a lot of kids get.
yeah. Well, I know they didn't play with my ass. They threw my ass in juvie so many times. Like, oh my god, man, it was horrible. It was horrible. But all that's behind me now. But anyways, so you get into boxing, and you know the whole fight game, the whole career of being a fighter is a lot of ups and downs. It's a lot of knockdowns. It's a lot of, I mean, everything. So was there a point in your career where you were kind of questioning why you were there, or should you be there, or was there things that may have happened that caused you to go, man, I don't know. I don't know if I need to keep doing this, or I don't know if I'm cut out for it, or anything like that.
No, I've never thought that because, like, even with you, Eric, like, I know you know me personally and you're interviewing me right now, but just knowing me, anybody that knows me, they're like, oh, that's Blake Lacaze, like, or oh, that guy fought Blake Lacaze. Like, it's kind of like my name, bro. Like, I never ducked and dodged no opponent coming up. I never really got down on myself, like, oh, this guy beat me and I don't think I can go on. Like, I never thought that. I was always like, who's up next? A lot of these fights in boxing was just a lot of BS, a lot of corruptness, man. They got boxing so screwed up right now, and I hate it, and I just really really hate it, and that was mainly my big thing I wanted to do bare knuckles because of how corrupt boxing is. Their scorecards, the judges, the BS stoppages, like it's just always some kind of rigor, and I didn't like it. Bare knuckle lets you go out on your limbs, bro. They let you go out on your limbs. It's like
Yeah,
do or die in there, and it's what I like. That's what I've always wanted to be a part of, and man, I'm finally here.
yeah. So you get into the bare knuckle ring for the first time. It was you and Noah Cutter, and dude, you were doing fucking excellent. You know what I'm saying? You were doing excellent. There was that one time where you dropped Noah. I mean, it was just a stiff. I think it was a hook, if my mind started. He came in. I think you caught him with a right hook, I think, and it kind of dropped him. And what did that feel like, having that first knockdown in bare knuckle?
Oh, it felt great, bro. Like I caught him so smooth with a check hook, like I baited him with that shot. I was waiting for that shot the whole first round, and I nailed him with it right there at the end of the round. And man, it felt great. I had everybody electrified in that audience. All 6,000 people was cheering as loud as could be.
Oh, dude, it was so
And
loud.
um, man, just I guess at that moment, what you're trying to get out of me, I knew like that this right here was my niche. Like, man, I'm here. I really liked it that
Yeah,
night, but I tried to box a lot more, man. There is bare knuckle style, and I didn't know that until after that fight.
yeah, because
And
I remember we talked about it, because I think it was when we were eating crawfish and Zach came down. I think we were all sitting there talking about it, and you were like, "Dude, you just wait to this next fight. Just wait till me and Brett Williams gets in there. You're gonna see how I've changed from boxing to bare knuckle." Like, and I'm not gonna lie, when you got in there with Brett, like you did, fucking excellent. Like, I mean, everything that you should have done, you were fucking doing it. You weren't letting him on the inside because Brett likes to use that power. So you weren't letting him on the inside. You were keeping him on the outside of that jab. And dude, that fucking jab fucked his face up.
Jab City,
Now,
man.
jab fucking city. So that first fight, you're in front of your fucking home crowd. What did that feel like? What did it feel like walking out and everybody that's fucking cheering you on, you've known since childhood, or they're friends, or they're just residents of the fucking hometown who are like, hey, this guy's from here. We're going to fucking cheer for him. What did that feel like? How did that electricity feel to you?
Oh, bro, it felt so good. Even to this day, I still watch that entrance sometimes just to like get the goosebumps off of it, man. Like when I came out, I could see all the VIP tables, all the local residents, people that own businesses in Monroe and like neighboring cities and towns. And bro, I could see my family cheering up. I sold so many tickets for that fight, bro. I had like a whole cheering squad that night. And it felt great being that close to home, bro. It felt really good, and I felt
Oh
like
yeah.
I finally had made it. And regardless of that outcome that night on that fight, bro, I won more than I could have ever imagined that night. Like my stardom just skyrocketed after that fight.
I remember you came to the house the next day and you were like, yeah, he fucked up my eye. Like, look at it. Like, look at my fucking eye.
Yeah. Well, the only reason that fight gets stopped that night, so I'm kicking I'm kicking ass in that fight. I fuck up, I get on the ropes, I get nailed, I get dropped, I get up, I get dropped again. I make the 8 count. Big Dan Margulari's like, I gotta stop the fight, kid. I was like, come on, don't do it, Dan. He's like, I gotta stop the fight. He's like, your bone's showing. He's like, I have to stop the fight. I was like, I'll respect that. Like I'll respect that.
Yeah.
But man, I've never
Yeah.
been the
That's,
type to like boo and who over anything. Like I'm a dog. I know I'm a dog. Everybody that knows me knows I'm a dog.
oh yeah, dude. I was so fucking proud of you that night. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I was so fucking proud of you that night. And then you're still in the home state at the time. You go to fucking New Orleans. You just destroy Brett Williams. I mean, you put on a fucking clinic that night. How did it
Zach
feel getting that? Go ahead.
Zach Kalmus, bro. Zach Kalmus had me in tip top shape for that fight. When I tell you, me and that man trained, we trained. We trained from Boston to Louisiana. We started that connection, and we started out like 8 weeks ahead of that fight before Brett. And I went up to Boston, and like Zach already had a game plan of how we was gonna train, how we was gonna run, the things we was gonna do, the things we was gonna work on for this guy. And my whole training camp, bro, Zach never referred to Brett as Brett Williams. He referred to him as the Gypsy. We're gonna
Yeah,
kick
I
that.
remember
We're gonna
that.
kick that Gypsy's ass. We're gonna kick that Gypsy's ass.
Yeah,
And
I remember that.
that Zach really reminded me who Blake Lacaze is. I forgot who I was, Eric. I forgot who I was, bro. And that happens. Men forget who they are. And I was reminded who I am. I am that dog. I am that fighter. I am that guy. And Zach really brought that out of me in training. And dude, we put in dog work from Boston to Louisiana. When I got down to New Orleans, man, I just had that mindset like kill or be killed, but more so kill. I was ready to kill something,
Yeah.
and I was ready to make a statement, bro. Like fuck, it's time to make a statement.
I remember you texted me earlier that day and you were like, I'm gonna fucking win this. Like, I cannot go 0-2. I have to fucking win this because I have to make that mark. I have to make that statement. And you fucking did it and you won. And how did it feel when your fucking hand got raised for that first time?
Bro, I don't really get excited about nothing. I ain't gonna say I sit here and say like, oh man, my heart was racing. That was the best thing ever. Another day in life, bro. My hand got raised. I won a fight. Whoop you do. I gave him thumbs up on the camera like, whoa, I won. I went right back. I went right back to reality, bro. I know where I'm coming from before I go to them fights, and regardless of the outcome, win, lose, or draw them fights, I know what I'm going back to. So
Yeah.
that's the harsh reality of this fight game. I'm trying to get better and have better things for sure, but it's just another day. What am I supposed to get excited about? I'm on a mission. I got more things to accomplish, bro. I can't sit here and cheer myself on that I accomplished one little feat and on my mission. Like I got a lot of other things to accomplish before I can even think about cheering or being happy or feeling good about myself, man.
Well, the reason I asked that is that motivating factor, and I guess like a lot of people that probably haven't had as many fights or haven't been in the fight game for so long, like you have, they use those moments as not really defining moments, but motivating moments. Those moments where they kind of hang their hat on it and they go, okay, well, I fucking did this. Now, yeah, it's time to move on to the next. But just the motivation and the confidence you have going in to the next chapter, going into the next fight. A lot of people they kind of feed off that a little bit, and then a lot of people don't.
That they do, but like you said, I really didn't, Eric. I felt so disrespected going into that fight in New Orleans. I know you seen the odds, bro. I know you text me about the odds. It was the
Yeah,
most disrespectful thing I had looked at the entire weekend. I was just like, are they serious?
I sent you that
Like,
on purpose.
and yeah, it was that was motivation. I was like, oh man, this guy's supposed to whoop me. I wasn't even supposed to win that fight, and I walked through him like it wasn't nothing, and then that walks me on up them ranks, and they had me in the top 10 right after that fight. And bro, you know me, I'm not gonna duck and dodge nobody. I
Fuck
whooped
no.
Brett. He was a top fighter at the time. I jumped out. Let's fight. Let's get it. But
Yeah,
he wasn't finna come. He wasn't finna come to my home state and just beat me up. I ain't never showing up to lose. I promise you that.
straight up, hell no, hell no. So, boom. Well, a few months later, you get the call, co-main event. Co-fucking main event. Bro, when you fucking told me that, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of cried like a little bitch. I was like, my fucking dog. Like my
Yeah, bro.
fucking dog.
I felt
And
like
and
I'd
not
made
even
it.
not even a fucking featured fight. A fucking co-main event. I was like, oh bro, my fucking dude he's fucking getting it. You
Yes,
get
sir.
dropped, you get dropped by Robbie or Rob, whatever his fucking name is. And I felt like that fight could have kept going
Oh, you talking
because
about, yeah, Coltrane. So Doug dropped me. Yeah,
Doug,
that
that's
was
his name, Doug.
the only reason I kind of sit up on the ring, like scratching my head and like I wouldn't even look at the doctor. I was like, man, y'all didn't even give me a fucking 8 count. A lot of
Yeah,
people don't know. Like he was like, your eyes was out. I was like, bro, my knee popped out of place when I hit the ground. It just popped back in. Like I'm in pain. Like god damn. Like fuck.
yeah.
Like I
And
don't get it, bro.
a lot of people don't think either. You're you're 6'8" and a fucking half. You're gonna fall fucking weird. There is no graceful falling for somebody that's 6'8" and a fucking half. It's gonna look fucking crazy every time you fall.
I can tell you one thing. Fettleman wasn't happy that night after that fight. He walked back there and gave the referee a what for. You always give my fighters an 8 count in my bare knuckle ring. I don't care what happens. So, and I kind of condone that, bro. We're in a bare knuckle ring. We're supposed to be fighting, and I think we're supposed to be able to go out on our limbs. We ain't wearing no gloves already. Give us an 8 count. We can't make the 8 count then stop the fight. It's in the rules.
Right, right, exactly, exactly. So man, you're doing your fucking thing right now. Um, I'm not gonna put. I'm not gonna speak your business because it ain't my place to. But I remember sometime last year you got into a little bit of trouble. Um, I don't know if you want to elaborate on that or not. I mean, that's totally up to you.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So I'm still battling that craziness, them charges and stuff. I'm still going through that with the court system, and hopefully that's over here for I guess the end of this year. Maybe, maybe not, because you never know how court's going to go. I mean, it's just that's crazy and corrupt within itself, also. But yeah, that's about all I'll elaborate on it. Yeah, I got that stuff still going, but hopefully
well,
it's going to be wiped under the table.
hell yeah. The reason I asked that, has it been a distraction? Has it distracted you any in your training or anything like that?
I've tried not to let it distract me at all, man. Like you're always gonna have little speed bumps on the way on your course, and this is when that time comes, I just slow down, take some deep breaths, Really, when I say slow down, I mean slow down because you can't rush that experience or them situations. So I have to slow down, do the smart thing, think it through, do the right things in the situation, and that's about the only way I could do is just take it real slow and deal with it in a slow manner.
Yeah, and I think that is a big that's a big thing that people have to learn because I used to be bad about just reacting to a situation, not really thinking it through. But once you said like when you really fucking slow down, when you take that breath, you kind of sit back and you think about what's going on. Now you're able to delegate each fucking situation and how you have to deal with it. Because I mean, honestly, that's what a fucking adult does. You know what I'm saying? Like when I still had that childish mindset, I would just fucking rush into a situation and go, oh well, fuck it, I'm just going to do it this way, and whatever consequence comes out of it comes out of it, and that shit costed me a lot. So now I'm like, fuck, okay, well I need to take a step back. I need to breathe. I need to think about this before I get into it because if I don't, it's going to cost me a lot. It's going to cost me a whole lot. And how did you get to that point? Like, where in your life did you go, okay, I need to kind of start taking a step back. I need to really start thinking these things out.
Bro, I have excellent guidance within my father and my mother. My mom and my dad is my two best friends. I can tell them any and everything. But you know my dad. My dad's a really good man, and he,
Oh,
he
yeah.
he talks to me. He talks to me. He's a realist. He don't sugarcoat shit for me. He don't baby me. He don't pat me on my back or nothing. He gives it to me the real way, like I'm supposed to have it, because I'm his son and he wants the best for me. And there's no sense in like sugarcoating stuff for me. Same thing with my mother, man. She's as sweet as she can be. I can tell mama anything. She'll sit there and listen to me no matter what time, where, any time. And when I tell them my problems and my situations, everything I'm going through, they give me their advice, and a lot of times I'm not gonna say every time because I'm their kid, and I mean as good as I am, we don't take our parents' advice all the time, but a lot of times I take their advice when I'm really pouring out my heart in situations like this because they're reassuring that they've been through situations like this too. I mean they're raising me up to be the man I was, so the, they know how things go and how life can be hard and cruel on you, and that was a big thing that my parents was always big on me. Like, just take a deep breath, let things come to you. You don't try to push things and make things happen. Just be the best you, Blake, and try to always be the better person, bro. I try to do that in every situation. Win, lose, or draw. I lost that last fight, Eric, on pay per view, bro. If I would have won that fight, if I would have won the fight, I would have acted the same way as you see me on that screen as I lost because I wouldn't go. I wouldn't. I'm very humble, bro. I come
Right.
from a humble family, and I guess me being just slowing down and everything's a lot of humbleness that my parents has taught me through the years, and I take their advice, bro. A lot of times people don't take their parents' advice, but I still listen and talk and take their advice because they know what I'm going through and what's best for me to still.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely had a problem with that when I was growing up. Like dad and mom, they would constantly try to educate me and help me grow and help me do better. But I had that fucking mindset that oh, I just know fucking everything. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm not gonna listen. And it's really humbling to hear you talk about that because I wish I would have listened to my parents a whole lot more when I was young because with the way I am today, there's no telling where I would be if I would have fucking listened. You know what I'm saying? And so
Right, right.
now when Dad's trying to give me advice, I listen. I stop. I listen. Like when my
Yeah,
son got attacked by the dog. I mean, I think I showed you pictures of that when he got fucking
yeah,
attacked by
yeah,
a
yeah,
dog.
yeah. Yes,
I
I remember.
wanted to go. I wanted to go kill those motherfuckers. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to go
You
fuck
was
shit up.
livid, bro. You was livid.
Yeah, and
I
like
remember.
dad talked me out of it, and fucking AJ talked me out of it. Like they were like, you need to take your ass to the hospital. You don't need to go fucking entertain that shit. You're gonna go right back to prison. What the fuck is it gonna accomplish? Take your ass to the hospital. Calm the fuck down. And knowing now that my father had a whole lot more wisdom than I fucking gave him credit for when I was a kid, it kind of pisses me off that I didn't listen. But it's so humbling to hear you talk about it, bro, and to hear the fact that you did listen, that you took the things that they said to heart, and that they motivated you so much.
Yeah, despite my little charges we just spoke on a while ago, I mean, look where I'm at right now, Eric. I'm at the highest point I've been at in my career, bro, and kind of speaks on what I'm saying. Like I have took their advice and tried to be the best me, and that didn't mean that shit didn't come my way and bad shit didn't happen, but it's life, bro. I still make the best of it. I'm always gonna make the best of every situation. That's just how I was raised.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, bro, definitely. So, couple quick things, real quick. I think the last thing I really want to touch on is we spoke a little bit about it in the beginning, but having your dad in your corner, having fucking Tony and that growly ass voice just in your ear all the time. What does that mean to you to know that your father is right there through every fucking step of it?
Bro, it's planned before the fight ever takes place, and my dad's my best friend. Me and him hang out so much, and we talk about so much things. Um, he treats me. When I say he treats me like I am a king, like I am complete royalty on fight days and on weigh-in days. He fetches and totes for me. He takes care of me like no other man. Dad like game plans on these fights, and we get there. I guarantee you, my dad's the loudest person in the building when I'm fighting every time, always.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And and he just calls it how he sees it. And he talks me through them fights and calls punches he sees. We have code words that we use while we're in training and stuff, so I know certain punches to throw. And man, he's a realist when I'm in there. He'll tell me if I'm losing a fight. If I'm in there losing a fight and I come to the corner, he's telling me I'm losing the fight. Need to make something happen. Need to shake up. He's a realist, bro, and that's what kind of people I want in my corner. And I'm just freaking fortunate that that's my dad, man. Like I got a best friend and a dad, and that's a blessing within itself.
It really is. I like you said, when we were in Monroe, it was fucking loud, and you could still hear Tony. When I'm watching you on fucking TV and listening to the commentators, somehow Tony's fucking voice is still coming through the
Every
fucking
time.
broadcast every time. I'm like, dude, like he is like
Yeah,
it's
we joke about it when we rewatch the fights and stuff. We kind of pick him like, oh yeah, there you are, Tony. There you are, Dad.
man, it's amazing to watch that connection that y'all have, man. It's definitely big. Is there something? Shoot a little message out to your dad real quick, bro. Tell him how you feel.
Oh man, Dad, thanks for being there for me and being my best friend always, even up until this day, bro. And I know we got big aspirations and big plans for this next fight. I can't wait. And we're finna kick it off here soon. Get this training camp going. Me and my dad, bro, we're actually planning to go up to see the game, and then me and Zach starting off training camp for our next fights. So we've already started
Hell
them
yeah.
off. We're gonna start our sparring together and start getting our dog work together at the end of this month.
So Mac the Mullet, man, he's with Fight World Live. He dropped a quick question real quick. He said, "Man, who is your top three bare knuckle fighters right now that you like to watch?"
Oh, my top three, man. Wow. Way to put me on the spot, my man. Um, so if I had to go top three right now, bro, I got one guy that I met this my last show that I really like to fight. Not like to fight, but like to watch the fight, and that's Palomino from Miami. I like Go-Go down in Miami as well. Big fan of Go-Go Guerrilla Warfare over here. And bro, I don't really know. I like it. I like Elvin Burrito too. I don't know. I couldn't put my order in pound for pound in the order, but I have fighters I like to watch and stuff. So that wasn't a real list of my pound for pound top three right there. I don't really know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's. I mean, it's tough. It's definitely tough. Um, I think my top three, obviously, first and foremost, is going to be Quentin the fucking hero Henry. Uh,
Yeah,
obviously you, because I mean it's you, bro. Like you're one of my best friends. Obviously, you're going to be one of my favorite fucking fighters to watch. You and Quentin both. My third favorite fighter to watch, man, and this one's so tough. But I tell you, and it may sound cliche right now, but bro, Tony Soto is just Tony is doing his shit. Like I like to watch him, but then again, I like watching Tyler Goodjohn because he puts on a fucking war every time. So like
Tyler Tyler
it's so
Tyler
hard.
Tyler, Tyler won that fight in my eyes. So
I
that
can't speak
last
on it. I can't speak on it. I'm media. I can't speak on it. But
I can't say shit 'cause how my night went, but and I watched the fight. I thought Tyler won the fight.
it was definitely one hell of a war though. That's for sure. And yeah, dude, Luis Palomino is definitely a dog. I think if Palomino and Soto do fight, I think that's going to be a pretty interesting fight to watch right there. I think that's going to be
Pal-
pretty interesting.
Palomino Palomino sweeps the floor with that guy.
I can't make predictions. I can't make predictions,
I,
but
I can, but bro, you know what? Y'all put me on the spot. Let me go. Let me just. You're just gonna run it back because I left my homeboy out, and he's the whole reason I do bare knuckle fighting. So, and you're absolutely right, bro. Quentin Henry, bro, the hero. That's my boy. Quentin, you're the
yeah,
reason I do bare knuckle fighting, bro. Like I looked up to you, man, and you paved this road for me to get in this stardom that I'm in right now, and there's no way that I could leave you out right now with Eric saying that and me just forgetting that in the moment in this interview. Quentin Henry, one of my top fighters in BKFC for sure.
man. When I was putting this set up, I was like, you know what? Wait, fuck, which way is it? This way. I had to add that to
Yeah,
the fucking set. You know what I'm saying? Had to add it to
yeah,
the set,
brother.
man. Because hell, this show right here wouldn't be possible if it wouldn't have been for fucking Quentin Henry introducing me to all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Bro,
know it probably
he's
sounds
such a
so
good guy. I
fucking.
like.
Oh, dude, that dude has done more for me in the past few years that I've known him than a lot of other people in my life. That dude is fucking. He's badass. Mac the Mullet says, didn't you box? Alan, I don't know if he's meant to say Alan Green or.
Yeah, yeah. So I did fight Alan Green, and if you go watch that fight on YouTube, I was kicking his ass. I spit in the ring, and they stopped the fight. Said I threw up in the ring, but I didn't throw up. I was spitting, bro.
I remember
But
that. Wasn't that
Alan
last?
Green,
Wasn't that last
that was
year?
like two
2 years.
years ago, bro.
Yeah.
But Alan Green's a dog. They call him Alan Ghost Dog Green. He's a beast, bro. I looked up to that man when I was like coming up as an amateur. I used to watch the World Super Six tournament and all that, like the top 168-pound fighters in the world in boxing. Alan Green was from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and man, I thought that was the coolest thing. That was close to us, like Southern boy, and years later, I got a call from this promoter of WFC, Matt McGurven. He gave me a call. I was like, "Would you be interested in fighting Alan Green?" And it was like, it wasn't even like a yes or no question. It was like, "When you send the contract?"
Yeah.
So, so he sent me the contract. It was the co-main event, bro, and we had a dog fight, a good boxing match, and Allen ended up getting the win on some boxing corruptness. I'll speak on it. It was corrupt that night. He even said it. He knows the fight could have kept going. I was gonna win the fight too. But Allen, man, I just looked up to that guy a lot when I was a young man. It was kind of cool getting to fight one of my heroes that I looked up to once I got older.
So, man, we got about 5 minutes left. let's do a quick random fast five. I'm going to shoot 5 questions at you off the top of my head. You just answer them however you want to answer them. Do it however you want to do it, and we'll go from that. Number 1, favorite movie.
Favorite movie, Rocky.
Really? Okay. What is one of the most what is one of
Yep.
the more preferred things that you like to do to wind down in the evening? What makes Blake Lacaze comfortable?
Bro, I like to sit down and just like watch old boxing matches, like just any kind of old fight that I can think of that was just like an actual war where two warriors went in there and like fought it out. It could be UFC, it could be boxing, bare knuckle. I like to just sit down and watch fights, man, and just like study how guys like fought through the trenches and put their heart on the line, during war. And because this is my life, this is how I'm fighting, bro. So I gotta add these things in the way that I'm fighting, and I need to watch it and see it, and it's cool to learn from people off of videos like that, the way they had come over adversity.
Okay. Number 3, besides your parents, who was one of the biggest inspirations in your life?
Sparky McDuffie, bro, my coach. Sparky was a huge inspiration and influence on me. My fighting style is based off how Sparky's like demonstrated how to be a big guy and a big boxer. And Sparky's been this big part of my life, man. I couldn't done it without him.
Number 4, what is your go-to after weigh-ins meal?
Go to after weigh-ins meal, bro. Honestly, anything, but I like a big steak, medium rare, baked potatoes, and maybe like some grilled asparagus or something. That's always my go-to. I always try to find a place to give me a big steak after weigh-ins, and I just try to like just rehydrate up and eat everything good. Get some ice cream afterwards. Like a lot of people don't know, Eric. I walk around like 200, 203 pounds, bro, and I drop down to 175 for fight nights. So when I get back in the
That's a lot.
ring. When I get back in the ring, I'm 190, 195 pounds a lot of times.
Damn. So last one, and I really want you to give an honest answer about this. Number 5, what do you feel like was the defining moment in your career that really made you who you are now?
Whew, my defining moment. That's a good one. I would say first time that I main evented a boxing show, which would have been my 4th professional fight. I fought Patrick Concrete Pierre from Brooklyn, New York. And we fought in Lafayette. We was the main event. He was a big guy, like strong too. And another fight I wasn't supposed to win, and I went in there and just like walked through him and just won the fight. And after the fight, I remember just like staring at myself in the locker room at the mirror for a long time. Like I didn't want nobody to be around me. I was like staring at myself, like, man, I just wouldn't beat that guy like it wasn't nothing in a main event. Like you've been wanting a main event your whole life. Like you just main evented this little show. Like you can go way further than this. And at that moment, bro, I was like, I'm not dodging nobody else. Any fight they send, I'm fighting whoever. So I did, and that was kind of like my defining moment, like my first professional main event show.
Well, bro, it's been great. It's been fun. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that pretty much made this makeshift set look a little good. Uh, Man, Jake Dement painted this right here. This is
He's the
all Jake
artist,
Dement right here. He's the fucking artist, bro.
Jake.
And when I
Jake's the
seen
man.
it, oh yeah, dude. When I seen it, I was like, I gotta have that. I gotta fucking have it. My finance manager, his daughter painted this one. Her name's JC Barber. She did a fucking fantastic job. Obviously,
Sweet.
I have the Hero Fitness Academy right here, and then right here I got one of the bare knuckle championship little mats or whatever they are. And then I got a glove over here from Butterbean but it's not in the
Okay.
camera there. But
We need,
but
we need to get you a big boy Blake poster in there, man.
that's what we need to do. We need a fucking big boy Blake poster to put right here in this fucking spot right there. It needs to
I
go
got
right
you,
there
bro.
in that fucking dead space.
I'll
But
have to bring
bro,
it on.
hell yeah, bro, it's been fun. If there anything that you want to say before you go, any advice that you want to give anybody, any inspiration that you want to give anybody, man.
Oh
Bro.
man, just don't give up. Just keep going. You know, just stay patient with everything. Keep going. Just like we do in the fight game, we're getting our butts whooped and we're getting beat on the ropes and stuff, or on the cage. What so say? So you're getting beat up. We, as a fighter, we have no other choice but to just calm down, take a deep breath, figure out how to get out of this situation, because it's not always going to be like that. So it's the only thing I could give the advice to people to do. Just take a deep breath and just pay attention to your surroundings and just like get out of the situation, the environment you're in, because things do get better. It has no other choice but to get better.
I dig it, bro. I dig it. Well, man, it's been great. Thank you for coming on Fighter to Fighter. Brought to you by Fight World Live. Sponsored by the #1 energy drink in combat sports, Nerd Focus. Man, it's been great. It's been awesome to have you here, bro. I'll hit you up sometime tomorrow or something, and we'll have to get together sometime soon, bro. I love you, and I'll holler at you later. All right?
Love you too, big dog. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, bro.